While I'm browsing the web, I see websites that I really like and a lot of elements that I wish that I had on my website. There's a very quick and simple way of doing it with AI without writing a single piece of code.
I recently created this website for my SaaS and I wanted to add an element to explain the workings. Then I went through a website for finding inspiration and found an element that perfectly fit my need. It had a clean and subtle look and perfectly fitted the rest of my website. I took a screenshot of that element, and with the screenshot, I jumped to V0. I find the designs from V0 are much better looking than other LLMs out there like Claude and ChatGPT. Along with the screenshot, I also wanted to share the code of this element with V0. For that, I used a Chrome plugin called PageRep. It lets you select the element you want to mimic and then it relevants the relevant code from this element through a simple selector. You can also preview the element that you are extracting the code of and then just copy the code of that specific element to drop it back into V0. Sharing both the screenshot and the code snippet gives you a better similarity with the element that you want to copy. When copying the code from PageRip, select JSX code from there because V0 also writes code in JavaScript. So that gives the best results. V0 has started generating the UI. I like how it shows you the code first and then the UI. Feels good to see what's under the hood. So the UI looks a bit like what we expected it to be, but not exactly how I want it to be. So let's give those commands back to V0. In such cases, what works well is that you can just go back to the element and then you can capture the specific detail that is missing. So I just captured it and put the code back in V0's command. And yeah, now the element looks like how we wanted it to be. Let's just add the title and the subtitle to it as well. And yeah, the element looks perfect now. So one great thing about V0 is that you can copy the element directly into your code base. So I just capture the key here and put it in my code base. Next, let's go to a composer window and ask cursor to include the new element on our homepage. I would be placing it just above the pricing section. I want to add a new element in the page. This section will explain how the product comes up with recommendations, include the new file that just V0 created, and this section should be just above the pricing section. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Also, let's start a local server meanwhile while it generates the code. There is some error. Let's feed it back to cursor. It usually fixes these error in 1 2 iterations. Okay, it says that it fixed the comment syntax. This change makes sure that correctly interpreted with JSX. Okay, got it. Okay, looks good. Almost there. Still needs some adjustment to match with the rest of the website. Let's fix the font size and the spacing. But still, the best part is that although we borrowed this element from another website, but still cursor made it look like very similar to my site in terms of the font, in terms of the styling that is there. Let's revert some changes. The new cursor feature of checkpoints come really handy in these situations. Let's see the code now, and perfectly fits very well with the website, matches with the styling of the rest of the elements. So that is all for this tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions on this in the comments. I would love to answer those. And yeah, until next time.